Hi everyone, this is Ward 3 City Council person Carrie McCormack, coming to you right out of my office here in City Hall, and wanted to chat with you today about our city budget. And really, as we go through our budgeting process, I want to make sure that you are aware of what is going on and where the revenues here at the City of Cleveland go. There's a lot of important programs that happen, and want to make sure that you're aware of it. So what I'm going to be doing is throughout the next several weeks be giving you short videos that kind of summarize the day in our budget hearings so that you can figure out and learn more about our city budget. Fun topic. So the City of Cleveland is about a $1.8 billion entity, and that's broken into different funds, but I'll just give you some of the major ones. So our general fund at the city is about $670 million. And what that pays for is kind of your standard city services. So waste collection, police officers, health centers, it pays for some roads in the city, things like that you would associate with your general city services. Another one of the large funds is what we would call an enterprise fund. And those are things like our utilities as well as the airport that are supposed to pay for themselves through the revenue that they bring in their day-to-day operations. That's about $736 million for this year. But the specific fund that I'm going to talk to you about today is our CDBG funding. That stands for Community Development Block Grant Funding. And that is direct federal money from the Housing and Urban Development Department in the federal government that comes directly from the federal government to cities and local governments across the United States of America. This year's allocation to the City of Cleveland is about $21 million. That is down from the peak allocation from the federal government, which was about $34 million in the mid-90s. So why these are important is these are direct allocations for the City of Cleveland to perform some really important work in our neighborhoods that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. And it's important that you reinstate with your senators and your Congress people to make sure that our CDBG funding is in place. So there's a call to action for you to call your representative to ensure that block grant dollars are in the budget and are not taken out, which in the near history, people have tried to take them out. Okay, so what does this $21 million pay for? I'm going to break it down to you in kind of a quick way. One of the major components is housing repair assistance in the City of Cleveland. A lot of this is geared towards seniors, and it's all really geared toward folks of lower or lower moderate income. Some of the major programs that are included are your home repairs, so that could be a front porch, that could be paint, that could be a roof, things that folks in our community that wouldn't be able to otherwise afford those types of repairs. These programs can assist in providing those. Other things that are on that list would be things like furnace and a hot water heater. If you've ever had one of those go out, it's not fun. And then to consider the folks in our community that are at most risk and aren't able to pay for those, these types of services are here for them. Last year, we expended about $3 million in these home repair programs across Cleveland neighborhoods to help seniors and people of low and moderate income. Other things for the seniors would include tree trimming assistance as well as gutter cleaning. The next major category that those federal dollars are used on are home dollars, which is our Home Investment Partnership Program. And what this does is it's a funding source to fill the financial gap on low and low moderate income housing projects. So there are, whether it's a multifamily affordable housing development or single family scatter site, these dollars are brought in to make sure that the development project makes it past the finish line in a financing way. So I'm going to throw up on your screen St. Joseph Commons. This is a permanent supportive housing project on West 25th Street in Ward 3, and that's for our chronically homeless brothers and sisters. And so that program, a little over $1 million of home dollars went into that project. The next one I'm going to put up for you is the International Village Infill Housing Program, which is in the Clark-Fulton neighborhood. Those are lease-to-own affordable single-family homes that, again, are being built on infill lots in the Clark Fulton neighborhood. Okay, next part of this is fair housing. So these CDBG dollars are spent for our fair housing department. In the fair housing department, make sure that we are fighting back against housing discrimination in the city of Cleveland. So in the city of Cleveland, like different government agencies, we have passed laws to protect our residents against housing discrimination. They're different on the federal, state, and local level, but our protected classes in the city of Cleveland, and I'm going to read this directly, it's prohibited to discriminate on the basis of race, religion, color, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity or expression, national origin, age, disability, ethnic group, Vietnam era or disabled veteran status, familial status, marital status, or ancestry. So that organization, our Fair Housing Group, is taking complaints and following up on leads about housing discrimination in our city. So that's a really important one. The next major category that these CDBG dollars are used for are building and housing department. And really these are around our demolition and board up that our building and housing department does on a daily basis. So, and this is kind of a crazy one. So since 2006, the city of Cleveland has spent $95 million demolishing blighted homes across the city of Cleveland. So really leading up to and after the housing crisis, which by the way was caused by really shoddy lending practices by major banks, we've had to spend a ton of money to take down blighted houses that have been a nuisance to neighborhoods across the city of Cleveland. That accounts for about 11,000 structures. And keep in mind that a structure could be a single-family home or a larger structure or garage. So that doesn't necessarily mean 11,000 houses, but 11,000 structures. The peak of our vacant and blighted housing was at about 15,000, and right now we're at about a little over 4,000 as well. So the funding goes to support those activities for demolition and board up. So when there's a vacant house and it needs to be secured through board up. All right. So another major component of this community development block grant dollars goes to land reutilization. So when we have vacant lots throughout the city of Cleveland, things like lot cleanup, our land bank program, so the city of Cleveland and as well as the county land bank work to take over vacant and abandoned properties, not only demolish them but hold the land for better uses. So whether that be someone wants to build a house or extend their yard or have a community garden, the city and the county land bank collaborate to hold that land so that it can be reused at a later time. Another major part of this funding also goes into our community gardens. This is a program that's run through the Ohio State University Extension, and it's called the Summer Sprouts Program. And so there's 157 of these community gardens across the city, which accounts for over 3,000 neighborhood residents who participate in the program. I'm going to throw up on your screen the Kentucky Garden. This is a big one in Ward 3, and it is in the Ohio City neighborhood on West 38th Street. Over 200 folks garden at this site. It's a part of this program. It's a really cool neighborhood garden. Moving on to our last category, and this is going to be our storefront renovation program, and this is one of those programs funded by our development block grant dollars. And this really helps shore up our commercial areas and our main streets through storefront revitalization and creative signing. So this program provides rebates for building owners that want to really spruce up their storefront, put on a new sign up, and they also help with design and other engineering elements for this program. Really great program, has been used a lot in Ward 3 and across the city. I'm going to throw up an example now of the Avalon Exchange and Three Dog Bakery on Detroit Road in Ohio City. Also Republic, which is a recent storefront renovation in Playhouse Square. And then Little Footsteps, I'm going to put that one up for you too, and that is a daycare center run by the Spanish American Committee on Lorraine Avenue. So these are some of the uses today that we discussed through our Community Development Block Grant hearings. This is day 1 out of 2, so I'm going to come back to you tomorrow with some more information on what we discussed tomorrow. But as you can see, these federal dollars are used for critical programming in our neighborhoods to help seniors, to help people in their homes, to help underutilized land, to help reduce blight and promote vibrancy in our community. Again, guys, I'll be back tomorrow with more information on day 2 of CDBG funding, and then we'll be back next week with our general fund hearings with more information. Thanks so much.